to all of the board members for your hard work. Dr. Smith, Mr. Minner, and Ms. Scales, if you could please stand, remain standing. Dr. Smith, Mrs. Scales, and Mr. Minner. I would like for everyone to please give them a warm round of applause. Without their vision and insight as founders, this fellowship would not exist. Thank you. Those three visionaries made it possible for us to be here, and I just want to continue to thank them. At this time, we'll have board member Ricky Turner come forward to introduce our speaker of the evening.
I don't know why I have the privilege and the pleasure to introduce the speaker of the evening, because I just met him yesterday. But as the board was determining who was going to be this year's speaker, Dr. Smith was telling us about a young man who was in the Navy in Virginia Beach. I said I can't think of a better person to introduce him than myself. For those who don't know, I did serve in the Navy myself in that same area. So I met with him and his wife last night, and we had, I guess, a late night dinner. Then I had the privilege of showing him to my city, Murfreesboro, and he was thoroughly impressed. I showed him the growth and all the things, some good Southern eating. You know, anytime when you go to a city, there's always something that every city has. Every city has a mall, every city has it. But I wanted to show him what made Murfreesboro special. So I took him to some good Southern eating first. Then I showed him all the progress that Murfreesboro was making. And him and his wife was really impressed. And then, I think the mayor had already left, but then I took him out to the Chamber of Commerce and let him see all the things that Murfreesboro had coming up in the future. So maybe Dr. Smith, he will throw his hat this way eventually. I think I sold Murfreesboro well. As you look in your program, and I won't go into all the details, but he is a senior chief petty officer in the United States Navy, stationed in Virginia Beach. Him and his wife Phyllis, she's also was in the service, and he's about to retire after a long, lustrous career. And when we was talking and riding through Murfreesboro, you know, I'm saying, man, if I would have stayed in, I would have been retiring right now, drawing a check. But you know, I remember why I got out. My first voyage overseas, and the waters was getting a little rough, and I just couldn't handle it. So I said, this is not the life for me on the sea. Let me come back on dry land. And I've been on dry land ever since. But without any further ado, I would like to present to some and introduce to others Senior Chief Gary Allen Armstrong, United States Navy.
That was a great introduction. And Ricky was absolutely correct. This has been the most impressive city I have ever been in. And I say that wholeheartedly because I have been in 29 different countries. I have been in multiple cities within those countries. I am from Dayton, Ohio, and I have actually been to Memphis, Tennessee. It's been 6 weeks. But in the last 24 hours, my wife and I have been so impressed by the hospitality, the level of education, and how you take it so serious. The youth here tonight are so fortunate because I can tell you, coming from the outside, you guys definitely have a tremendous future ahead of you. And I saw Memphis, Tennessee University. I would go there if I was you. So I'm not even from here. I'm actually endorsing it. Thank you, Board of Directors of the Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship Fund, parents, supporters, and the future. Once again, the future. For the opportunity and privilege to speak to you tonight. I am Senior Chief Gary Armstrong, United States Navy, Surface Warfare, and I am truly honored to be here with you tonight to express how proud I am to be among some of the brightest students in the nation, most intelligent in the country, proactive parents, unselfish supporters, and devoted teachers and Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship Fund Committee. When the doctor called me, Dr. Smith said, I have a task for you. I want you to speak at the Dr. Martin Luther King celebration. And I said, no problem. You know, I was pretty motivated. I said, I can do this easily. I have spoke before 50 people before. No problem. He said, before you do that, I want you to go into the website and look at what we do. So the first thing I did after being so impressed, I clicked on the previous speakers. And I'll tell you, my intimidation level rose because these great people had titles longer than my speech. And so Miss Cynthia Wilson reached out to me and Ricky Turner. And I was trying to get points. Okay, what do you want me to talk about? You know, what things should I say to these bright young students? And they said, be yourself. So tonight, I'm gonna give you myself. I call you the future instead of students because after reviewing some of your academic accomplishments, proven leadership in the community, and unquestionable integrity while being young citizens in a country that often fail to celebrate academic achievements of minorities, I stand here confident in bestowing the future upon each and every one of you. And I request respectfully that you assume that title. As recipients of a scholarship named after Dr. King, a great American leader that used his faith, education, and intelligence to bring the injustice of African Americans to the forefront of the conscience of America in a positive and nonviolent manner. I can say with complete assurance that the results of the dream that he so eloquently spoke on our nation's capital in 1963 is sitting here amongst us. Now, I believe that Dr. Martin Luther King left us a recipe for success. Similar to what the mayor told me earlier, this is a place for success. I believe that he left a recipe that you will not find in any cookbook. Dr. King's legacy left a recipe for success that was passed on for the past 50 years. The recipe was easy, but the commitment is challenging. The ingredients consist of cups of unselfish people, like caring teachers, Dr. King Fund Committee, proactive parents, community financial supporters, and as many academically proven students that meet the scholarship requirements as possible. Mix that all together, place it in an oven of positivity and prosperity, and out come our future. There is no timer needed for this particular because success is never done. Dr. King had a dream. Each one of you made his dream a reality. Just like Dr. King, I too had a dream. My dream was to join the Navy for just a few years. And somewhere along the line, I was fortunate. I met a great woman. I had 2 sons. I served in countless foreign countries. I received commendation medals for being engaged in combat areas in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kuwait. I was once handpicked to attend an intensive Arabic cultural school in Amman, Jordan. I drank from the river Jordan where they say that Jesus himself was baptized. Impressive? Maybe. But before all that, there were obstacles. I was raised in a degraded, poverty-stricken projects in an abusive home of my hometown. I spent years in an orphanage and several in foster homes. I was labeled mentally retarded by my 3rd grade. I was told that my capacity for learning was limited and my command of the English language had been severely reduced. And if I was lucky, I could get past the 7th grade. See, I don't believe in luck. I believe in blessings. My title was, even gave me a title, Poor African American Male with a Severe Learning Disability. Well, I refused to own that title, because I was hard-headed then too. When you're hard-headed on the good things, it's okay. And I worked myself into mainstream classes by the 8th grade and graduated high school on time. No matter how intelligent or limited we are, motivation is a significant factor to remove obstacles placed in your way. Are you motivated today? Because if you're not, regardless of the scholarship that you receive today, if you're not motivated and you do not put that scholarship together with some tenacious acts, you would not prosper. So tonight is a given. Tomorrow you have to take. Future, you yourself may have obstacles. However, with your gifted mind and tenacious attitude toward learning, the first word that came to my mind was telekinesis. The ability to move objects with your mind. Now, with your mind, you will open up doors to institutions of higher learning, professional careers, dispel stereotypes, create opportunities for yourself and those that follow behind you. If you are preoccupied when I say this next statement, you're going to miss something. You will be able to move obstacles that are in place by those that attempt to underestimate your capabilities because of the color of your skin, but could not deny your level of intelligence, character, ambition, and contributions. Your excuses are behind you now. It is your mind that will allow you opportunities to vast in the majestic heights of success. Obstacles are defeated by goals. Now, goals. G-O-A-L-S. If I spelled that incorrectly, please correct me. Because to me, goals mean get over anything limiting success. Now, this part is not in my speech. If you have to get over yourself for success, I suggest you do it. So if you approach the mirror and you cannot get over that arrogance that you have because the world owed you something, then I suggest you start tonight. So if you're going to the prom, think about that when you're on the dance floor. Future. After receiving your scholarships tonight, I respectfully request that you yourselves give back to the students in your respective communities so that they also will have an opportunity to be in the position that you're in tonight. First, by being a fine example for them to emulate. In other words, you see the kid with their pants hanging down, and 5 guys are following him with their pants hanging down, and they have no idea of why his pants hanging down. They just following him. Well, see, when you're up here with these beautiful ropes and you're about to have a bright future, they're going to follow you too. They're going to pull their pants up, put their suit and tie on, and they're going to be sitting right here. Don't worry about it. My wife and I will be in the audience in a couple of years looking at the new ones. We're going to move here. Secondly, be tutors in your spare time. Give that special one-on-one attention to those that may need that motivation, because one teaches one. Lastly, show them that they can succeed regardless of peer pressure, temptations of negative influences in the community, and social media, Facebook. Now, I know you see us as adults and you're thinking that, you know what, they have no clue of what I'm going through. They don't know the pressures that I face. But if you look out in front of you, I can guarantee you no one out there had an easy ride. Right? We spoke, Dr. Smith and I spoke about silver spoon. So many of our youth say, you know what, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. Well, if you look at a silver spoon, it costs about $5.99 to get a silver spoon, but a book lasts forever. So you don't need a silver spoon, what you need is a book. Which brings me to something else that I read on the website before I did my speech. Because Dr. Smith pointed me to the website for this particular reason. It stated, minority students receive media recognition mostly for achievements in athletics and negative attention for criminal acts. Now, if you're preoccupied once again, I suggest you pay attention to this one. We're going to do some numbers. Do I have any math teachers in here? Right, here we go. In the United States, there are approximately 370 NBA players, compared to over 700,000 doctors, 1 million plus lawyers, 1 million engineers, 3 million teachers, 2 million active duty and reserve military leaders, and I include myself in that. And 60% of professional athletes are broke by their 5th year in retirement. Broke. Now, Phyllis, my wife, I'm no mathematician, but I tell you, it seems that our children have a better opportunity to succeed academically than pushing the ball down court. We all know the guy, he was, you know the guy, you know him. He was the best one in the school, all right? They praised him. All right? He was going to be the next NBA. And then you go off to college. And then you get your professional career. And then you come back. And now he's 30. And he's still in the same part, telling you that he should have did it like you. Now, on the other side of the pendulum, 1 in 5 minority males are in prison.
I'm recording.
In prison. Now, when I hear they made me get pulled over for illegal acts, the police saw me and they came to me because I just happened to have things in my car that I shouldn't have. You believe that this is an institution of financial gain for one minority child to go to prison. And I don't even have to look at this script to break this down for you. If one police officer arrests you, he get paid. He take you to the bailiff, he get paid. They'll take you to the court. The lawyer, the judge, they get paid. Then they put you in prison. The warden, the COs, they get paid. So by the time everyone got paid, only thing you're doing is time. And you don't get paid. Now, in case you've been shunned for taking on a more rigorous academic role, shunned for being smart, being intelligent, being bright, wanting things like, a future. Webster Dictionary defines shun